Good evening to my audience in Boston. Good morning to everybody in Japan, and good afternoon to all of you in the Bay Area. It is with great pleasure to welcome all of you to our second joint program with the Japan Society of Northern California. As Kendra mentioned, I am the managing director at the Japan Society of Boston. It is really with great joy that I welcome you all to this joint event, because I've been thinking about how the pandemic, to say the least, I think have been very challenging for all of us. And yet, here we are together on both coasts, united by this wonderful performance that is being sent to us from Japan. So there is something beautiful to know that there's always the arts and the music that unite us together. And what I cannot tell you how excited I am to be able to share this performance by Master Kouzan Oyama tonight, because not only will he be sharing us the shamisen and the koto performance, he will also tell us a little bit about the history and a little bit about each instrument, which I'm sure even for our Japanese crowds, there'll be something that you will learn from tonight. So without further ado, Master Kouzan Oyama.
Hello everyone, my name is Kouzan Oyama, the representative of Group Shishido. Today I will play three Japanese traditional instruments, Tsugaru Shamisen, Koto, and Okinawan Sanshi. I majored in Koto at musical college, and I won championship in Tsugaru Shamisen 2 years in a row. Shamisen can easily go out of tune because the strings are made of silk. So please stay tuned until the end of the performance. There are over 20 kinds of shamisen music, and the instrument is essential in traditional Japanese music. Today, I am going to focus on the Tsugaru Shamisen. First, let me explain the history of the shamisen. Around 1480, a Chinese three-string instrument called the sanshan was imported to Okinawa, then adapted into the sanshi, whose body is covered by snakeskin. The sanshin arrived in mainland Japan around 1560, where cat and dog skin replaced snakeskin, and the neck became longer and thicker, changing the instrument to become a shamisen. In the interest of animal welfare, synthetic skins are being developed today. The sanshin was exported from Okinawa to Osaka and modified to the shamisen, then moved to Aomori. About 400 years ago, during the Edo period, shamisen music became popular as an accompaniment to kabuki. Back then, players used the Hosodao, which is a shamisen with a thin neck. In 1878, during the Meiji period, Mitabo, the founder of Tsugaru Shamisen, started to use the Hosodao, a shamisen with a thick neck, for louder volume. He also is allegedly the first person to use dog skin instead of cat skin on a shamisen to support his energetical style of playing. At that time, the shamisen was an instrument of the underclass. Blind street musicians, a societal outgroup, played it in front of people's houses to bath. This type of performance was called bosamagiri. The Tsugaru Shamisen then became an accompanying instrument to Tsugaru Minyo, which is traditional folk music in the Tsugaru area, now called Aomori, at the northern tip of Honshu. In 1935, Gunpachiro Shirakawa joined the Performing Arts Company and started to perform Tsugaru Shamisen solos, separate from the folk song. He is considered the founder of the type of shamisen solo performance that is more than music. It is fast, dynamic, and extremely captivating. Junpachiro used a traditional instrument to create a new musical genre. In terms of materials and construction, rosewood is used for the neck of the samisen. It is such a heavy, dense wood that it sinks in water. The instrument has 3 strings. The thickest one is made of silk, and the other 2 are made of nylon plastic. 6 are made from hawksbill turtle shells. The export-import of hawksbill turtle shells is prohibited under the Washington Convention, so just acquiring the stick costs about $450. Materials other than the hawksbill turtle shells have been tested, but none of them have become the true substitute yet. The samisen sounds very different from Western instruments, which by design create less noise, longer lingering notes, and evenly sustained notes. The unusual sound of the samisen is due to its vibration mechanism. Because the note is short, we add a type of sound called sawari to make the note linger. This means that not all notes are sustained evenly. Moreover, the samisen is unusual in having a microtone, one that is narrower than the half tone of a piano. Okay, let me play samisen first. This instrument. This is Tsugaru samisen. I hope you enjoy my music and let me know if you like it. The first song is Jongarabushi Rokudan. you. The next song is another Jongal Bush song. This one will include singing. Traditionally, we would play in a group of 3 people. A singer, a shamisen player, and a taiko drummer. Today, because it's just me, I play shamisen and sing at the same time. Thank you. すごいですね。ありがとうございます。はい、それではですね。The next song is Kodo, which means the beat of. Thank you very much. はい、Now, I'll show you the different types of shamisen. Two types of shamisen. The one I played was Hosodao. The one I played was Hosodao, which means thick neck. The one is called Hosodao, which has a thin neck. This is originally used as a background music for kabuki. And geisha play this type of shamisen as well. The angle of shamisen is more horizontal than the tsugaru one, like this. And we use an ivory stick as opposed to the hook with turtle shell stick I showed you earlier. And all the strings are made of silk. I play a little bit to show you the difference. You know the difference? We play this instrument more gently. There are many types of shamisen in Japan, but this is the most loudest type. The reason why we play this instrument very loud is it is originally played outdoors. This type of shamisen is only used at the theater, so it generates a sound difference. Okay, let's go back to the Tsugaru shamisen. Some people wonder if I can play songs other than traditional Japanese music with shamisen. Let me know what you think. Thank you very much. Actually, Naoko-san and I met because her daughter took a trial lesson of Tsugaru shamisen with me in Japan. Her daughter likes video games, so I played this song for her. Okay, let's go to the next song, next instrument. The next instrument is sanshin, which is an Okinawan instrument, and I explained about earlier. The Okinawan sanshin uses snake skin as body. We play with this pick, which is like a long fingernail. The biggest difference between Tsugaru shamisen and sanshin is that we usually play sanshin as an accompaniment to singing. We don't play it on its own. I play Toshindo. This song is fun at the end of the party and everybody dance. Thank you. The next instrument is koto, which is a floor harp with 13 strings. We use these picks. We use these picks attached to the thumb, index finger, and the middle finger. Chinese koto has a 25 strings and finger pick is all 5 fingers, but Japanese one is a 13 string and 3 fingers. A lot of contemporary songs are composed using harmony. Unlike chanson, which is a generally monotone instrument, chords can be played on koto as well. The song I will play is chae, which means diagonal shadow. Thank you. Before I go into the last song, I want to explain about the construction of shamisen. The wooden piece under the first string, this one, is used to create resonance by slightly adjusting it to touch the string more or less, creating a sort of buzzing noise. This is buzzing noise. This is no buzzing noise. This is buzzing noise. This is no buzzing noise. This noise is intentionally drawn out to create longer, more full-sounding notes. And we can divide shamisen neck into 3 parts to make it easier to transport. First, remove the bridge. And loosen the pelvis. Remove the string, and from the bottom of, and wrap the string around the pelvis. That's it. This shamisen will fit into this side box, so we can bring it as a carry-on baggage on a flight. This uses the Japanese traditional engineering, which does not make use of screws or nails to connect joints. All the pieces of wood are cut perfectly to create a snap and sturdy fit when connected. The last song is Jongara Kyokubuki. It shows off many of the phrases and techniques which are indicative of Tsugaru shamisen. We improvise using Jongara Bushi scale and rhythm. Scale is pentatonic, 5 notes in one octave. And pick movements and rhythm is like this. This weak to strong pick movement is used to keep rhythm. This is 4/4 beat, playing down, up, down, down, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, downstroke, with the first down up being played more softly. It's totally the same as 8 beats. I will put in a phrase I imagine you are all familiar with into my Jongara Bushi improvisation. My performance is over. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please ask me.
そうですね。コウザン先生、どうもありがとうございました。Thank you so very much, コウザン先生、Master Kouzan Oyama. Now we're going to move on to Q&A. I know we've received a lot of questions, but if you would like to add more questions, we'll try to answer as many as possible. Please send them in chat. So the first question we have actually is about sheet music. We have an audience that's interested in understanding if the sheet music looks the same.
This is something sheet music. Something sheet music. Cover care. This is for beginners something. We can see where to push the string by this sheet music. This is something sheet music. And this is Koto sheet music. This is Chinese character. We did it vertically. This is for foreigners. We usually use this way. And for example, this is west. And like that. The unique one is Sanxin sheet music. This is all Chinese character. All Chinese character. And this is the graph of the position field. You can know where to push by this graph. This is a sheet music of Japanese traditional instruments. Sometimes we can also read. Sometimes we can play with Western notation, but we usually use this type of something, cover shape.
Fantastic. Our second question is, how is the shamisen different from the Chinese counterparts, from the Chinese instrument?
Yeah, good question. Chinese counterparts it looks similar to Okinawa Samisen, but it's bigger and it's played by pick with I think 3 or 5 fingers, and they use I think the iron nail, steel nail, iron or steel strings to make the lingering note more longer, and they use this type of sheet music. Only sheet music is exported to Okinawa, but music is all different. And my friend said Chinese music more Western で洋楽化されていると、友達は言っています。
So interesting how Chinese music is more westernized than shamisen. That's very, very interesting. Actually, we have a question about the koto. 2 questions actually. Actually, there's actually more, but lots of people are asking, who is the composer of the song that you played? Is that your original?
No, this is my teacher, Hikari Sawai. This is the head of the school of Hawaii philosophy, but he is also the metal guitarist. So and he has a white hair, white long hair. So he includes elements from the metal or progressive rock.
So he includes progressive rock music
Yes.
to his koto music, elements of.
Yes, that's right.
Wow, very interesting. The other question about the koto is people are asking what the difference is. There a difference between the koto that you just played and the koto that we see standing against the wall?
This is the this is the bass chord.
Bass koto.
Bass chord, which has 70 strings. And what is more, this is hollow. This is hollow inside, so not too heavy. This is very high, very long, but not so heavy.
Interesting, wonderful. I'm going to move on to more questions because we have a lot of questions. Can you review once again what makes the sound louder between the shamisen? Is it the longer neck or the wider neck that makes the sound louder?
それはちょっと訳していただいてですね。ネックが太くなると、竿が太くなると、バランス的に胴も大きくなるので、音も大きくなるということですね。それがまず一つですね。
So as the Kouzan sensei was sharing with us that as the neck is thicker, naturally the body of the instrument also becomes bigger. So there's a lot more balance and thus one of the reasons why it becomes louder.
あとは、叩き方、弾き方ですね。とにかく強く叩く。Like
the other way to make it louder is how he plays it. Obviously, as he uses more strength, the sound is louder.
Yes.
Fantastic. We're going to move on to a little bit of more of a personal question. What instrument, or actually which instrument did you learn first?
No, my first instrument is Tsugaru Samisen.
And actually, it's followed by the question, why?
There was a Samisen class in my university, and I followed a friend of mine, just followed, but I was more into it. And first, and next, I changed the focus on my life to something. First, I majored in information technology, but I changed the focus, and I decided to change to the musical college. The person, the player who can play koto can also play something. So there was a something class. So I choose a koto, majoring koto class.
So actually, I think you answered the next question, which was, when did you start playing? So you started playing
20 years old. So 21 years. I've been playing for them 21 years.
Actually, the next question is there a easier instrument to play? Like, is shamisen easier than sanshin? Is koto easier than shamisen? What is the easiest instrument?
Good question. 三振、もちろんそれぞれの難しさがあるんですけども、三味線は、三振はこの、楽器自体を弾くのは簡単なんですけれども、こちら、歌が、 メインなので、歌が難しいね。
So each on its own, but Kouzan sensei is saying that sanshin is actually easy to play, but sanshin, as he mentioned, is always accompanied by song. So Kouzan sensei said that the song is very difficult.
で、もう一つはですね、琴は、実は桜という曲がキャリーフラッグ。これはですね、琴の練習曲として作られたので、親指だけで桜があって。
So Sakura, the song Sakura was actually, when it was made for koto, it is beginner song. So you can play the Sakura on koto with just your thumb. So that obviously is easy.
そうですね。ですから、琴の方が、初心者には、しやすいので、小学校の、和楽器教育には琴がよく使われています。
So that makes it actually koto easy to start. So when, say, elementary school students want to learn Japanese traditional instrument, they usually start with koto because they can start with just one thumb.
やはり左手はギターとか弾いてると、やりやすいんですけども、バチが難しいと、ギターを弾く人はよく言いますね。
So obviously, if you know how to play the guitar, your left hand it's somewhat easier to maneuver, but striking with the bachi is very, very difficult because that's very different from playing the guitar.
あと楽器の値段が気になるところだと思うんですけども、安い三味線でも、6万円ぐらいですね。一番安いのは6万円で、送るのに大体アメリカ本土には1万円ぐらいで、送れることができるということですね。ことは、やっぱり持って帰るのが大変なんですけども、飛行機で持って帰れば、楽器自体は、中古で非常に余っているので、本当にタダとかでも手に入るんですけども、タダで譲っていただけるんですけども、大きいので、飛行機で持って帰ると、大体アメリカまで、2万円ぐらいですね。
Okay, so Kouzan sensei said some of you may be curious how much these instruments cost. Shamisen is about 60,000 yen, which is, if you know, real roughly about $600. And it cost about roughly about $100 to send to send to the States. Koto, on the other hand, there is abundant of koto in Japan. So actually, you may be even able to find somebody who would give it to you for free, but it does cost about $200 just to bring it back on an airplane. So that's very interesting information to note. And unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of you have more questions, but we are at the end of our program. Before I hand this mic over to my colleague at the Japan Society of Northern California, Akiyama-san, I also would like to share with you that because Kouzan sensei mentioned how much does it cost, he does do Skype lessons. I think Akiyama-san is going to share a little more about it as well, but he does do lessons. So if any of you are interested in lessons, you can, as he just mentioned, purchase the instruments and try at it from the United States. So Akiyama-san, can you please close the program for us?
I'm sorry, I was on mute. Thank you, Yoko-san. I'm Takahide Akiyama, President of the Japan Society of Northern California. And that has been fantastic, just fantastic. Thank you very much, Kouzan sensei. And on behalf of Japan Society of Boston and Japan Society of Northern California, I'd like to welcome again for the audience, all of you, for your participation in this very unique event of Tsugaru Shamisen and other traditional Japanese musical instruments. I'm very pleased to see so many of you having participated in this program from across the US on the East Coast and the West Coast of the US and Japan as well. I'm sure that you have enjoyed as much as I did. I have seen your chatting among yourselves, and just all of the places fantastic and enjoying so much. So thank you very much for your participation. And Kouzan Sensei, that has been fantastic. It's really a rare opportunity for us to learn from you directly about these Japanese traditional instruments, as well as you know, the history and teachings and your performance. Fantastic. And I hope you will continue to spread this unique and wonderful work on these Japanese musical instruments, and a very special way of playing it to many more people in the United States and indeed the rest of the world. Before I officially close, I also, just Yuko-san mentioned that the Kouzan Sensei have the teaching lessons available to all of you. I'm sure that many of you have been fond of this instrument, but others may found today is very attractive to you. So there's a opportunity to learn from Shishido Sensei, Kouzan Sensei direct. There's a link, just Shishido, I'm sorry, Yuko-san, just fill in the particular link to it, or Kouzan Sensei. There's a link. If you go Kouzan Sensei, just you will find easily for the link. Before I officially close, just to mention a few things. Japan Society of Boston is the oldest Japan Society in the United States, being 116 years old. And Japan Society of Northern California is 1 year younger than that, being 115 years old. So it's very much a good opportunity for us together to host this event to spread the wonderful musical instruments of Japan. So I hope you enjoy this. And each of these societies is committed to advance understanding and friendship between the US and Japan, and continue to provide interesting and meaningful events throughout the year, such as this event. So please look for the webpage of each of the societies and find interesting events for you, and to continue to come back and join those events. And our activities and these events have been made possible with generous support from many corporate members and sponsors. And taking this opportunity, I'd like to thank all those corporate sponsors of the two societies. And also like to thank individual participants in this event for your kind donations for this event. They mean a lot to us. Thank you very much. And each of the societies will be sending an event survey in the next few days. And please take a moment to respond. It is a very short, simple survey. With that, I would like to close today's event. Thank you again, Kouzan Sensei, and all the participants in this wonderful event. And have a wonderful evening and also a wonderful day for those in Japan. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Thank you very much.